this our
Yes, yes, yes.
we want to create another program.
Yeah, I understood from
Yes,
Duncan.
from
Yes.
yes. So they just want to see, for example, to give few examples on how, for example, if we want to create a
You just
generative
hold on,
voice,
someone is here.
how we create it in the operation module. For example, the flow of the voyage when we have a new voyage. For example, what's the first steps we do in the just few examples, so they can take print screenshots. You can show them. Thanks, man.
No, no.
Hi, can you hear us, Satya sir? Okay, cool.
We want the entire flow.
Yes, entire flow.
ഇതാണ് ബൈഫർക്കേഷൻ സെപ്റ്റംബർ ഒക്ടോബർ അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും അപ്പോൾ ഈ ടോട്ടൽ എല്ലാം സിസ്റ്റമിൽ മാച്ച് ആയി അപ്പോൾ ഇതാക്കിയിട്ട് ഇതിനെ ഇത് ബൈഫർക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇതിൽ എന്തൊക്കെ ഇല്ല വെച്ചാൽ അതൊക്കെ പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഇട്ടു ദീസ് വർ ഓൾ മിസ്സിംഗ് ഇൻ സിസ്റ്റം അപ്പോൾ ആദ്യം ഇതൊക്കെ പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഇട്ടു പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഇട്ട ശേഷം ഈ ബേസിസിൽ റിവേഴ്സൽ എൻട്രി പോകും അതാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ
Okay. Okay.
When we start a fixture, first thing we do is either we go to a
ING
cargo.
ഇതൊക്കെ
Okay.
When we get the information of the cargo, we go and add the cargo data here.
ബ്രോക്കറേജ് ഒന്നും എൻട്രി ഇല്ല അത്
So what is the
Okay.
cargo? First we receive the cargo and then we create an estimate. Either you can do it via here. We have two options. Either you can start here or you can directly start entering an estimate as well. Okay?
Just hold on. Estimate is just like a quotation.
Yeah, this
Quotation
is our
allowance.
P&L, initial P&L, like to
Okay.
analyze how profitable this voyage will be.
So cargo is actually the voyage.
Cargo is the commodity that we are going to transfer. Somebody is going to give us the cargo.
Okay.
And we have the vessel. So it can sometimes be the vessel is being taken and cargo is ours. So mostly we do the cargo belongs to somebody, the vessel is ours.
Just like the Rhine shipping.
ರಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್
Yeah, you can tell right. But ISO does both side businesses.
Yeah, okay. They have the bunkering as well as the shipping and.
No, not only that. Some
Talk about shipping only now.
Yeah, not the bunkering. We do bunkering out. What I meant is like we sometimes hire the vessel from outside to shift the cargo. So there can be situations where the vessel also is not ours, cargo is also not ours. We are just operating.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
It can have multiple
Charter out.
parameters. It
Yeah,
can
charter
have-
in, charter out.
We have multiple parameters. So for that we create the estimate, and the estimate, as I said, we have different roles. So based on that we create different estimates. Sometimes the vessel will be owned and the cargo is owned. Here the vessel is ours and the cargo is it's going in a time charter out. The vessel we are giving
Time
out.
charter.
Yes. Sometimes cargo will do that. We take the cargo and give out the cargo. So we have different types of estimates happening here. So when based on each estimate, then we come to know here we add how many cargoes we are going to lift in this vessel. See, the vessel details will be here. Daily cost will be entered somewhere else, so it will automatically reflect here.
Daily cost of the ship.
Yeah, daily running cost of the ship.
Okay.
If it is required, if it is not required, not required. We'll keep it zero. And the cargo, like how many cargoes we are going to carry on board. Sometimes we will carry one charter cargo. We will have two charter cargo. It depends. And then how many ports it's going to go. The voyage rotation will come
Okay.
here. Okay? And we add all the data like as you can see what cargo, which port, how much quantity, how much is the port expenses there, how many days it's going to stay in the port by general. This will be taking it from the historical data, back-end data, and this is going to be our estimated extra days, extra port days.
Okay, which you
Let's-
provide, which you offer them.
We put here.
Yeah,
Like if I put Basra, it will automatically take 2 days because
But
based-
you have feeded that information about Bashra port somewhere?
yeah, somewhere else it is automatically will not be do. IMOS is done default.
Okay, Amos was done
Yeah.
before.
So we to our flexibility we will keep like how many days extra we can, depends on charters to charters and stuff like that. So we add port everything, then the port data goes in here and all this practice. This miles automatically gets calculated. So speed will be ballast what and laden what. So based on that, this is a C days.
How many sea days it will
Yeah, miles by speed will come
Can
automatically.
you just add one line and add any vessel and show me? Just hold on. I'm not able to get your voice.
$13 இதில் இன்க்ளூடே ஆகும். அதுவும் ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு தான்
Okay. Is any of these data points moving to finance or is just for the estimates?
P&L will go to finance.
These data points are not going to finance.
This in-depth details will
Estimate.
not go, but the amounts, when we feed in this data only we get a certain amount, right? That amount will go there.
So till this is on the stage of estimate, because estimate will convert to invoice later, I think.
Yeah.
So till it is in estimate stage, it's not going to finance part until it's moved to a finance. Okay, so just leave it. Let's move to the next point. Okay.
So this, we have feed in the data and the finance part gets generated here, right?
Over here.
Yes.
This is
Existing data.
okay. This
This
is
is
the
an estimate.
existing vessel, and you created one estimate, and this is how you calculate it. So miles is auto calculated, speed is auto calculated, days is
Speed I
auto
have
calculated.
entered here, can you see that?
Yeah. Okay.
So automatically it will calculate the C days.
Based on the average of both, or based on the lead and ballast?
It will depend because here you will specify, right, load or discharge. So from here to here it is ballast voyage. From here to here it is laden voyage. It will automatically take
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
If I put,
So after that,
yeah.
which
After
freight?
that, freight is entered here.
Just hold on. Hello. Okay.
Freight is entered here.
Can you just connect this one? There's someone else also on the meeting.
Okay. Hello?
Oh, sorry.
உங்களுக்கு என்ன குவான்டிட்டி
Hello? Yeah. Do I talk to him or just continue?
You just cover it, and
Yeah.
he's also listening on the part.
Okay, fine.
He's one of our main tech team in this one.
Okay, no problem. So here is where we decide the freight. Freight will have different modules, as you can see. If I do a freight rate per unit, it will be as per the quantity. It will directly, if I choose freight rate per unit, I have to enter the unit rate here. So how much I am loading the BL quantity, it will automatically calculate.
Maybe you connect both.
Okay. Hello? Yes, quantity will be entered. Let's say here, we have fixed the default quantity. You saw this, right? I mean, we entered it here. This is our estimate. So how I feel, I have entered it here. It should be 83. Okay. I have kept it in metric tons. So if I keep the freight rate as 14, then it will automatically calculate 14 into 83,000 metric ton. So this is freight rate, and sometimes we have lump sum if I do, and I allocate just 4 million I'll keep. Okay, yeah, if I keep irrespective of the quantity, it is going to be 4 million. So each factor here has different calculation for freight, but once it is decided how we are going to go with the freight, let's say I keep 24 and 17. Okay. Okay, so once we update it, see, it changes here whatever the freight I am going. Okay, and demurrage will be again calculated on certain parameters. Here we have it's all done here. I think it's shipping stuff, so you don't really need to know that one, right? You're going to calculate. Okay, fine. Okay, so I feed in the data. You can see here how much in the estimate I can keep, how many days I want. It will calculate here. So right now it's just 4,000 it's taking basis CP term data I've kept here, yes, allowed time is just 48 hours. So anything in excess, it is calculating automatically here, and the commission is as well. If you see address commission, it is 2.5. I have kept for freight, yes, and for demurrage also. Yeah, it's like there are options here. You can see why I have kept D. It will be commission, but in a separate invoice. So based on that, it will automatically calculate here. So this is our revenue, and bunkers. Bunkers is something. It will calculate when we are starting the voyage. I put how much I am estimating it to have a price, initial price, and LSG also I put a price, let's say 700, and based on the already existing data, the miles being traveled and the speed, it will know which region, which bunker. So let's say it's not going to burn LSG everywhere, LSMG everywhere. It will be only in special zones, and this high sulfur will be bunkered everywhere. So when it is high sulfur, there will be no LSMGO. So when there is LSMGO, there is no high sulfur. That's the thing, and the system will understand automatically, and it will calculate how much it is required, and you can see it is being required. And if I need to, I'm planning to take some bunker in Ruwais port. Let's say I'm gonna just plan it at, I'll keep 500 at 450 it is telling, because I have kept the initial price, but I'm expecting it to go to 460, so it will do it. But this area, right, receiving 500 and 460 will not reflect in the P&L. It will go in the bunker report as such. It's not our voyage P&L. So done, bunker is done. So based on that speed and everything, the bunker consumption was calculated, and the amount for this voyage, this is the amount we will be spending on the bunker. And if there is any port expenses, let's say I'm going to Colombo, let's keep port expenses 30,000. So see, I added here and it came in here, right? Port expenses. So this is my expense, additional expense.
So in expenses, it doesn't take the daily hire rate?
Daily hire rate, I'll come to that. Sorry, I was telling in the estimate time, we are not going to give detailed port expenses. You can do that, okay, but we just don't do as a practice. So we just keep it estimated amount, and when the operation stage, when the PDA comes in, they will enter in the operation stage. This is chartering stage I'm talking about. So for the charter to just know how much approximate things is going to cost. So now let's keep it 80,000 and 80,000 here. And if I want to enter any miscellaneous expenses, sometimes we incur miscellaneous expenses like war risk, you can say. So I choose here war risk, and I keep a lump sum amount 10,000. It will also add automatically here. So these are my expected expenses. Okay, and this is my revenue expenses, and it calculates the net TCE. And the gross, everything is based on the hire. Hire is 13,500 for this vessel, which has been entered in the TC. Can you see something here? This is the time charter party, which this is the time charter party. There is a separate entry. Here I have kept my hire and everything. So basis that, it will automatically take the daily running costs. If there is no time chartered vessel, let's say if we are a bareboat or something, then it's a different set of entry. So this is the time charter vessel, so it is here. So basis that, the rest of the calculation happens. And this is what will go to, our finance team. So here there will be usually a tab which is called fixed estimate, but this is already a fixed estimate, so it's not here right now. You generally have. So this report, P&L report, will go to finance. It's taking time. Yeah, please tell me. Right now, yeah, in chartering stage we don't do any invoicing. It will be after this in the operation stage. This is for our accounts to see how much is estimated, in coming up days, how much is your revenue and how much is your expenses going to be, what is to be paid for that. So once it is done, done? Hello? Yeah. So once it is done, we fix there will be a fixed estimate. Since we don't have that right now, let's keep it like that. It will go, once I fix it, it will ask me to schedule the voyage as well. So once I schedule the voyage, it will go into the operation stage. So now I'll go to, see, here it is. So here usually you have an option. Okay, we have to approve. Okay, save. It's already scheduled. Okay, can you see here it is scheduled? So that's why it's view voyage. Otherwise it will be schedule voyage. So once I schedule it, it is in the operations folder. It's changing to operations. So this is where we actually do all the invoicing. The invoicing starts here. Until now we don't do any invoicing. Sorry, did I? Okay. So here you are asking me about the port expenses, right? So let's say for Colombo, I go to port expenses here, and I enter. So this is our agency expected stuff, which is to be done, and you can see advance amount. This is our PDA, which we enter. Let's say no expense. Okay, I'll put salary. All this data we enter, and you can say I'm gonna keep the amount around. So due date, everything. If I save it, it will get in. Okay, fine. And another entry is credited here. Okay, so this is how we do the port expenses. It's the advance amount, it's the PDA amount, and once it get the final amount, we again come back and change it here, because I was doing it at the final stage. It is already here, so we know from then. Now the freight is the first thing we do to invoice when the voyage is starting. So what happens here, we will enter all the BL quantity and such stuff, okay, because to do the freight we need the BL quantity. So the BL loaded amount in Jebel Jais on this date, 81,000 we have loaded, so that is the amount we are discharging here. Sorry, since no other port call is here, we are discharging this much amount. So earlier in the previous one you saw, invoice will be based on BL quantity. We have fixed it. So it depends upon the contract to contract. Sometimes it will be low quantity, ships quantity, but in our case it's BL quantity, so I have kept it fixed. So after having the basic data, the arrival date and everything, you have to enter in the port activities. This is the manual SOF which we type in. Here we do the bunker consumption received and everything. This is the actual data. Earlier we were doing all the estimates, right? Here we will do the actual data. And once the actual data is done, we will do freight invoice. Okay? So this is where the freight invoice happens. And we choose the counterparty. Okay, yes, it's already issued, so it's showing like that, no problem. We have entered these data in the chartering stage. If we want to change it in the operation stage, it's possible, but you have to click in the respective places. For anything related to cargo, we right click here. Anything related to the port, we right click here, so the data will automatically be updated. So now everything is here, address, commission, the vessel, okay, and we click invoice date, number. Okay. It went. Hello?